Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I just wanted to talk about the update this weekend. This weekend they're releasing a new Loomian with some special traits apparently. Just today, a couple hours ago, they released a silhouette. It looks like it's going to be kind of a baby fox thing. It reminds me of Fennekin, and there was one other Pokemon I was thinking of that it reminded me of, but I can't remember it anymore. But Fennekin was a psychic fire type, and the other thing, Vulpix. So I'm imagining that when it evolves, it turns into something like Ninetales. Like it turns this really big, majestic, fox-like creature, and I feel like that's gonna be cool. I'm still not sure how we're gonna obtain it, but I've had a couple ideas on just some cool, special, different Loomians that haven't been introduced yet. I have two ideas which me and one of my friends came up with kind of together, and then I don't know, I'll just mention the other things. Lucky HD came up with an idea of a Loomian that changes status effects. That would be cool. He also somewhere I think mentioned potential cast form Loomian. That would also be cool. The only issue so far with that is I'm pretty sure there's no in-battle weathers yet. Like, there's no sunny day, there's no rain dance, anything like that. So that's the only hurdle, because they've got to introduce a bunch of moves with it, but that's not that impossible to do. Another theory I've heard is a Ditto Loomian. They don't need to add anything on the side for that. That's just gonna fit in. And then the two ideas which me and my friend came up with. One of them probably won't work right now. It would work in a lot later stage of the game's progression. The other one could, but I doubt it's it. We'll start with the one that can be now, because that's a little less developed. It's essentially this rebirth Pokemon, where it starts very defensive, very hard to kill, kind of like Terraclods, really tanky, or maybe Odasho, probably not as broken, but it's really tanky, hard to kill, and when you kill it, it kind of rebirths, it respawns into a new attack form in place of the dead Pokemon, but this dead Loomian. But it starts at 33% health, so like if you have recover or something, you can gain more health back. But this form is very fragile, but it hits hard. It goes from like a stall tank to like a glass cannon. It's very fast, very hard, like a Zweilong or a Gobetame or Protagon. And then another thing, its type would change. So an example would be it starts as like defensive grass or plant type, whatever it is, which deals with things like water and ground type. And then when you kill it, it turns into a fire type. So suddenly its defensive form took down all the counters, and suddenly this now fire type is sweeping your team. Its secondary type will change. Its first primary type, whatever that is, would stay the same. But I feel like this one would be really interesting. The second idea me and my friend came up with is a kind of a skill tree thing, where as it progresses, as you level it up, it can evolve into different forms, but the requirements are very specific. So I'm still fully fleshing out this idea. I've begun coming up with like a lot of things. So you obviously start with the baby Loomian, and then I'm counting on a lot of specific areas. Like I'm imagining the current Lumi Legacy map, and whatever is missing is still the Brick Bronze map, because I've kind of planned some of the evolution locations. Obviously that's subject to change, but it's essentially like it starts as a grass type. If you were to go to Fortaloose Manor, and in anywhere in the Fortaloose Manor area, and level it up to 20 at night, it would turn into a second stage ghost grass type. Then if you trained it to level 50 on the like backyard or front yard area of Fortaloose Manor, it would evolve into a stronger ghost grass type. If you evolved it in the basement of Fortaloose Manor, at night, it would evolve into a ghost dark type instead. And so it's if you don't want the ghost path, you could go to Route 17, which was an icy route, and evolve it there at level 20 for an ice grass type. Then evolve it in the grass at level 50 for a ice grass stronger version, or evolve it above the lake for an ice water version. Then if you were to go to Gale Forest, if you evolved it in Gale Forest level 20, it would turn into a light grass type. You evolved it in the green grass in that area, it would turn into it would go to a stronger it would turn into a light bug type. If you evolved it in the pink grass, it would turn into it would stay a light grass type. I'm tripping on my words, but it would stay on a light grass type basically. And so it's essentially the skill tree Loomian where you gotta pick different paths with it, and it's gonna be a little hard to obtain. And then there's one last form I came up with. It's an ancient line where you have to have all the other forms discovered in the Pokedex. You gotta have max friendship with it. And then maybe a couple other requirements. It was planned level 80. You go to this special ancient cave, kind of like Igneous Hollow, but you only encounter ancient types in this cave, and you gotta get it to level 80 in there, and it'll evolve. And it turns into this ancient grass. And this basic design is already planned out, but I'm just going as far as coming up with unique abilities and moves on it. So I've got all the abilities, I believe, I just don't have the moves. So yeah, it's there's different abilities like the ghost types. Oh, and then another thing I didn't mention, each type has a specific stat they're really good at. So maybe, I don't remember them, but ice, I believe, one is really high ranged attack, one is ranged defense. Ghost is melee attack and melee defense, and light is speed and HP, and then ancient is energy, because ancient is meant to be really powerful. Its nerf is that it's got, of all stats, it had to have crazy energy, and it's meant to be really slow, so Bane of Haste kind of thing. But I don't know, I was thinking something else. Oh yeah, so the kind of abilities, I tried to make them interesting abilities that are all unique. I've got things like sharp edges, but for special attackers, it's for the ice type. It's a reflective thing. And then this kind of slippery attack where it's got a slippery surface. Every time it's hit by a melee move, I don't remember the exact thing, but I believe it's there's a chance that the Loomian that attacks will slip and miss, and even if it hits, a little bit of the damage will get reflected back. If it hits, 5% of the damage reflects, or there's a 10% chance it'll miss and take all the damage the move was supposed to give, or whatever, high jump kick basically. It's a high jump kick and a weaker sharp edges combined. I just feel like that would be fun. No, I think it was based on who gets the first turn. If they get the first turn, there's a chance they'll slip and take damage. They'll still get the hit, but they'll take damage. Then there's also abilities like the ghost types have stack up abilities. So the melee defense ghost type has this stack up melee attack ability where every turn that passes the ghost type's turn that passes 5% more melee attack, it stacks up. It's basically he's summoning these spirits to buff him. The ability's name is Spirit Strength or Spirit Strengthening. Then the melee attack version has the same ability but a defensive version. So every turn, 5% more melee defense. It's Spirit Shield. And the abilities can be swapped. I just thought it would be broken if melee attack gets even more melee attack and melee defense gets even more melee defense. And then I don't remember the other abilities, but I just thought the skill tree would also be really cool. It's just it needs a lot of areas for specific evolutions. Maybe you could have a steel type in the junkyard. It doesn't have to be a tree. I just thought that would be cool with the whole skill tree idea. I've just imagined it as a tree like Ents. E-N-T, Ents. Yeah, well, I think that's all I have to say. Yeah. I don't know how you're gonna obtain this Loomian. I'm curious on that. I feel like I'm the only person who's interested on that. I fear it's gonna be a fossil. That's gonna be a little annoying, and I also fear it's gonna be one time per account, like an NPC gives you, and then if you want another, you're gonna have to use an alt account or reset. And neither sound fun. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.